Hello, class! So, hopefully, this kind of goes a little fast since I got 3 minutes on the clock. Excuse me for, my room. So we're just gonna go over the basics, and if I have any time left, I will go through it, but if we run out of time, oh well, we'll just pause it if it passes the 3 mark. Alright, so, what my project is about it's kind of iffy. I was having a little issue determining if I should go with pro-bullying or limiting safe spaces, or just like giving more or allowing more flexibility with speech or word use, I guess. So I guess you could, in a way, tag it under all of those. So let's just go on with the thing. Now we're gonna, we're actually, hold on. So, safe spaces. So this is kind of like more of a personal story. So once upon a time, I lived in Minnesota, and it sucked. I hate it. I hate that place. And they're really hypersensitive and really religious. Like, they're also overly nice. I don't like overly nice people. It's just, not my type of thing. So they got really kind of edged out when I was drawing a blade, because I was very into medieval warfare, spears, swords, whatever. And she says, "Oh, throw that away because that's violent or something." Of course, you know, I did that. After class, I took it out of the trash can and I kept it because, you know, I don't want to listen to some person that gets offended. And also, again, I was kind of, this was like middle school. I was very kind of edgy and kind of stupid. So I made a lot of eating baby jokes, or I guess cannibalistic. And like these, I guess, about 4 teenage girls, about around, I'd say 17-ish, just kind of sit by me because I sat alone at lunch because I don't want to be with people, and they kind of screwed that up for me, which is unfortunate. So they just kind of like talked to me and all that, which I don't want to talk. I just want to watch videos and eat food, not really make friends. So I just kind of make, and every once in a while I bring up these like eating baby jokes, like haha, funny. Of course I'm stupid and I don't realize that they get offended easily over small things. So apparently they told the principal on me, and it got so serious to the point where the cops were called. I'm gonna leave it right there because that's hilarious. Now, again, this is more a personal experience, but the class should know that this happened, or at least 90% of them should remember. I don't expect them to remember on top of the head, but I'm pretty sure they were all there to witness it. So, during the 9/11 Memorial Day, or the memorization of the 9/11 attack, I thought, I can't remember the fucking, oh, my bad for my language. I thought she said the day, or I guess a day later. I think it was like the 11th. I misheard her on the 9/11 date on when it happened. So I tried to correct her because I misheard, and literally I saw like 80% of the class just turn around and just, it was practically a hiss. Like everybody was just kind of like, I'm gonna kill you, bro. Like they're all edgy and hiss. They're just ferocious. Like, Jesus, calm down, buddy. Mistakes happen. But yes. So I'm gonna show you a clip of this, and it shows in a way that honestly, if this happened, I hate to say this, but this is in this game, it is For Honor. It is a medieval fighting game. The way of talking trash is teabagging or emoting. Teabagging is the common idea for gamers. And or just trash talking in general, or spam messaging in the bottom left. So this kid, he got triggered when I ledged him, so he spammed WoW. It's not really a safe space or anything. I like to point it out because games allow a little more flexibility to what you say on the internet, as in terms of real life, where it's a little more strict. So I'm going to begin this. I'm going to have my... that's about right. There we go. So as you look at that, so I don't really need to explain this unless you want a tutorial on what For Honor is. I'm not going to go into specifics. You can see right there, he spammed WoW 2 times, and yeah. So, other than that, we got a safe space kind of guy we're going to talk about, Dondi. I hate bringing this up. I really, truly do. I've been talking about him nonstop, and it really just irritates me. So, he is more of a talk trash, but he doesn't want to be trash talked to, if that makes sense. And then there you go, I ledge him again, and you can see it again. So, he doesn't want to get trash talked back. He doesn't expect any drawback from it. So, which kind of adds on to the frustration on how stupid he can be. And he relies on his community to defend him. And it's really kind of obnoxious, but there's that. So, yeah. To the point, when I called him out, he banned me from his thing. So, I got a post. Well, I'm going to show some screenshots and talk about it. So, I edited these images fairly decently. I tried to... there you go. There's emoting. I'm just kind of showing off. So, I have these edited. So, there's a little more protection to these people, considering I am posting this on my YouTube channel, and knowing my community, they can be really cancerous. Can be. Some are really kind of respectable. Dondi probably not, but yes. So these are people who... this kind of is where I talk about pro-bullying. So in a way, teenagers, or I guess the teens that I have talked to, are very kind of cocky, like, oh, I can handle the world, I am a god. And it's just kind of not, it's not true. It's obviously not true, but just kind of just annoying at a point in time where you just obsessively talk about it like you can just handle anything. And like, oh yeah, we're talking about like some sort of rapist or pedophile or whatever, I don't know exactly. So when I kind of pointed out all the factors of what it takes to, and like if in a survival fight or a little struggle, all the factors like the environment, strengths and weaknesses, whatever, if there's a sharp weapon involved, you know, that sort of thing. And she just kind of pretty much ignored it the entire thing and just kind of went to like insult me, like talking about my mother, like that's some sort of relevance. Of course this screenshot doesn't show it, but yeah. So yeah, my sister will fuck anyone that fucks with our family regardless on their situation. Yeah, that doesn't work that way. So yeah, now we're gonna go on to safe spaces, which kind of, this is a semi-safe space topic, but I guess I'll mention it anyways. So we're talking about gay characters for some reason in video games. And keep in mind, we're talking about Overwatch. It's very open with their diversity. So apparently she says there's not enough. So it's really, and she just posted a picture of 2 gay guys kissing each other, and when they obviously don't show any of those behaviors whatsoever. And doesn't really make much sense, even after it's proven wrong and not to be real or realistic. So there's this edited video, little pictures. Now we got some citations that I did of a Washington Post, again on the safe space topic. What time are we at? Oh dang, we're at 10 minutes. So hold on. All right, I'm gonna talk about this briefly. So Berkeley, they suck off a lot of safe spaces. They try to keep people from like I guess the opposing side from talking their political views, like say, oh yeah, I think these are either entirely liberal or left-leaning, and Milo Yiannopoulos is a conservative, and these guys denied his access to a speech, or they canceled his thing. Well, not canceled. I don't know what I'm going off of anymore. All right, so let's go on here. So Berkeley actually canceled the speech, the free speech, but Milo says he's going to come anyways to speak politically. So yeah, there's my citations. Hopefully I still get credit, but I might not. So pro bullying, you can see it right there. Just pretty much like if you bully, not in like a physical or a mental state, like go kill yourself or whatever, but more of like, oh yeah, you won't get anything done in your life or something like that. Of course, some kids might take that literal and they won't actually get anywhere. But usually you see the underdog usually doing a good job in life and going past and go beyond becoming a rich millionaire, whatever. Now, the counterclaim that I would expect usually, and keep in mind, I'm not really countering my ideas. It's a little challenging for me to think on the spot. But here's one. So, what's the point of removing safe spaces? Some people can't handle being challenged. That's more of like a sarcastic thing that I decided. I don't know why. I couldn't really think of a legitimate argument, but saying. Alright, so right here, if you can't handle conflicting ideas, try to be more open and more understanding. Like, okay, just ask questions to the point on why they believe so. Or just don't be involved with discussions at all. Which, of course, not really much of a choice. So, some also say, well, how will bullying help anything? It'll just make people more depressed. Well, yeah, that's pretty much true. But, however, it's kind of on how the person handles it, how they take insults. I think it's more dependent on the person rather than just like an average. But majority of averages, the bullied are usually successful. And they kind of like look on it and like they kind of laugh to themselves. So the call to action. My main goal is not to provide any sort of attacks on anyone else, but more of just limiting safe spaces. So you don't, if you're in discussion, I don't want to see, say, James or something. I don't want to see James argue. Then when the opposing person comes back, or I guess gives another counterclaim, I don't want James to run away to a safe space and or attack him or attack the opposing guy and run to a safe space. I don't want them to rely on their safe space. I don't want them to happen. But it might happen, and that's kind of unfortunate. So, again, I don't want any sort of like physical or suicidal encouraging things to happen if it's bullying wise. But by limiting a safe space, it makes people more open to discussions and have some critical thinking going on. Without limits, it will just stay the same old people getting offended and attack each other. Just more of a back and forth. Like, oh yeah, your face is ugly or whatever. It doesn't really have any purpose besides just progress in the discussion slower. And it also kind of comes to just more of self-control. Like, don't use insults as your main go-to. And also try to control yourself, even if you've been insulted. Try not to go for the insult right away. So, yeah. So, fourfold, pro bullying can be a little iffy. It's kind of hard to explain. So, I mentioned it 3 times, but I'll mention it again. No, like, physical harm or suicidal or encouraging suicidal things. But saying, if someone says, or Jamie, let's use Jamie. If Jamie blatantly says something wrong and knowingly says something wrong and just to sound, just to make a point, I guess, or try to sound intelligent, I don't really. You should be able to call them out for being a little boy. I was about to swear and I caught myself. Just don't be a little crap boy. Just don't do that. So just call them out. It's like, hey, where did you get your things from? Where did you get all this? So if they just say, well, Washington Post, just don't. All right, just call them out where they need to be. Say, okay, just flat out, just call them out. That's it. I'm stuttering over myself because, I'm over 10 minutes and I'm really kind of upset that I didn't say this in time. So, yeah, if you want to see the rest of my or the rest of my page, feel free to. There's a lot to go through, so there's that, and that's my excuse. So hopefully this was a good enough informer for everybody. Of course, I know that I will not getting a full grade, I guess, unless the teacher is willing to watch this like 12-minute long, 17-minute long video. So I'm gonna end it here, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.